There is no shortage of manga. The Japanese use more paper on printing it than they use on toilet paper, which I always thought was a weird statistic, but moving on. Good manga, now that's a bit hard to come by. You're gonna have to put in a little more effort just to get some. Still doable, however. Now, great manga is where it gets rough, but that's what you want. You don't want that basic shit they churn out every week. You want that 1% orchestra shit the fancy wealthy people go to. That rare stuff, and I've got that. And you will too by the end of the video. I'm talking blacked manga, baby! Black mangaka and comic book writers are like female comedians. Sure, they exist, but are they any good? No, they're great. Long ago, there was a calamity. One so powerful that it forced the gods and humanity to join forces in order to beat it. From this battle arose 5 great and wise Magai. Through great sacrifice, they summoned a weapon that could defeat the calamity. That weapon was called the Blackmoon. And with this, the war was won. These 5 would later go down in history as the first masquerades. Fast forward a couple thousand years, everyone is born with magic or aura and there's peace on the surface. Madoka wants to be a masquerade more than anyone, but he was born with white hair, green eyes, and worst of all, a blank. One without magic. His grandfather tells him to wait, that one day he'll awaken his aura. But Madoka didn't just wait patiently. He trained. Every couple of years there's a tournament where youth from all over gather to take the first step in becoming a masquerade. Madoka has to watch this painfully from the sidelines thinking, I could do better. If that was me in the ring, I would have fought faster. Till
stay the path.
What's this?
Stay the path, child. Have you brought us this far only to turn tail like a dog?
He signs up and pulls up to the arena. Boom! Gets his shit rocked. His opponent is this shadow user, but Madoka trains harder than anyone. Bam! Uses his charms and kicks to kick the guy. He's bleeding, but he's not scared. He wanted this. He needed this.
There isn't even a fucking gun. I don't know why I'm doing gun sound effects.
But he wins the fight, and the judges ask him his goal. He stands, ribs broken, battered, bruised. My name is Madoka, and my goal is to take over the world. Tatashe follows a female protagonist called Tatashe on her crazy adventures as she faces off against mythological creatures and obstacles, each stranger than the last, and as she searches the planet for the mysterious kingdom of Eden and her long-lost master. Hunter x Hunter meets Food Wars. This is another manga-inspired work that runs in Comic Republic, the same line as Blackmoon. This story, though, is magical, fun, relaxing, and cheeky. The colors just shoot out of the page, immersing you in this bright, energetic world. The characters look cool and expressive, and the art is just gorgeous. Enough beating around the bush. An airhead MC who wears her heart on her sleeve and is just brimming with life. This African fairy tale is everything you want in a story. There's this chick called the Iron Princess, and she gives me Killua and Sasuke vibes. But as colorful as the planet of food seems, there's an underbelly to it. Things that shouldn't exist in such a happy world. And her master? Where has she been? What's she been doing? Something about her is off. Rex was born when a drunk old man a stray female dog. She died giving birth to him, and because of this he never fit in and never had any friends. All this pain made Rex swear to one day find his father and get back at him by Yeah, this is built different than manga. Dog Ningen is unconventional. A big boy word smart people use to mean different or maybe even weird. It's fresh, that's what it is. Dog Ningen says, you know all that exposition, the build up, all that lubing you up, that, and throws you straight into the action. Huh? This guy's an assassin sent by Rex's father to kill him, but why? Incinerate! Rex has super strength but still fights like a freaking martial artist. He's got dog powers too. The art and paneling make it feel as if you're watching a movie. But one thing that Dog Ningen is, despite the funny trolling, is personal. Let me tell you about the author, DH Animations. DH enjoys shonen anime and manga. On his YouTube channel, he's made several videos about Dragon Ball Z and other stuff. He even references Dragon Ball in his works. And speaking of his works, he's got to be a fan of One Punch Man. Here's why. The first version of was only drawn by DH, and it looked like the early webcomic chapters of One Punch Man drawn by one. But despite this being the first version I read, I kept going. This series had heart to it. On the surface, it seemed like it's just about cool fights and niggas. But you get to see the characters' backstories, and you see how the people who are supposed to love the characters and care for them ended up abusing and manipulating them in order to achieve their own goals. You get to see Rex struggle with the effects of being called terrible things by people and being bullied his whole life, and Neo move on from his dickhead of a father who used him for his own ends. The characters stop being just characters and they become human beings. So later on, DH got into contact with an incredible artist who goes by the name Sabian Hero, and together they redrew and polished into what it is today, a great manga. The manga exploded on the scene with its great paneling, artwork, and character. The manga is amazing, but there's two journeys going on here: the characters and the authors, DH and Sabians. And this reminds me of a certain iconic duo too. Kamalu was worshipped as a god and ruled the heavens as a king, till one day he left. Now on Earth, he's trying to live a normal life with his daughter and familia, but the past never forgets. Kamalu's this insanely powerful god of thunder, trying his best to be a good father and live a normal life, despite being attacked by these otherworldly enemies. He's a god who's desperately trying to be human. The art is delicious, the paneling and coloring a treat for your eyes, and his design, damn, his design is so sick. Kamalu is this intimidating, powerful, and mysterious being, but has this kindness to him that the artist is able to express in the moments he lowers his guard around his daughter. He has a past that doesn't let him sleep at night. Just what did he do? Why did he leave heaven? What happens when they find out he's vulnerable? That he has a daughter. Ever wondered what Berserk would be like if the monster's guts fought? What, the KKK? Ever wondered what if the Black Swordsman was actually black? Like, what if he was an Blaster Knuckle is a seinen manga set in 1880s America, where members of the clan are flesh-eating monsters who use the racism of the time to hunt and eat black people. Notice how similar it looks to Berserk? That's because they ran in the exact same magazine, and get this, the author Wazarai was actually friends with the great Miura all the way since high school. Blaster Knuckle follows the story of Victor Freeman, who saw his dad get brutally killed and dismembered by these monsters when he was a kid. A couple years later, he goes on a blood-filled revenge spree to kill each and every single one of these monsters, but ends up racking a bounty on his head because every time he kills one of these beasts, their corpses turn back into regular human ones, so everyone thinks he's just this killing machine. The monsters he's facing are these inhumanly strong, borderline immortal, terrifying beasts, but Victor doesn't give a fuck. He blows out their damn brains regardless. The main character is this badass hunter who goes from town to town killing these things, saving the locals of the towns and freeing his fellow black people in the process. For the most part, the plot is pretty basic. Victor finds a monster, Victor proceeds to fuck the monster up in the most badass way, or dies trying. The manga's got 3 volumes, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. Reading these chapters somehow managed to capture the magic of early Berserk for me. The fights are gory, exciting, and easy to read. It's always fun to see how Victor will use his skills and wit to beat these monsters. The rage both he and Guts share made it so fun to read, plus the manga actually gives good and well-researched portrayals of black people here. None of that Mr. Popo stuff, you know what I'm talking about. It's his shoes! Why are they so pointy? Some really likable side characters also get introduced later on, and the ending? You're gonna have to go read that for yourself. You definitely need to give Blaster Knuckle a read. Another banger from the creator of Dog. Tundra is a young boy who gets bullied and cast out by everyone because of his physical deformities, but all that changes once he gets power. Scarfman is a superhero webcomic drawn solo by DH Animation, so it doesn't have the turbocharged art Dog has, but what it lacks in art style, it makes up for in story, characters, and writing. To me, it's like the ugly girl your friends hook you up with because it's been years since your last relationship, and while you're hesitant at first, you remember that your dick doesn't have eyes, so it feels the same. Just joking, it's more than that. The author is able to convey what it feels like to have everyone in your class and school attack you every second. The anxiety of wondering when the next diss will come or the next punch or kick. I know what that feels like, and chances are if you read manga, you aren't necessarily built like Baki. People are cruel to Tundra and each other. They talk like actual people. The dialogue is funny at times. When the boys talk to each other, it sounds like how I actually sound when I'm talking to my boys. A ton of slurs.
This really you? I beat my meat into a cup. What?
Tundra starts the story as a depressed,
Borderline suicidal, likely school.
but grows into a more complete person thanks to his cool big brother Ali. Easily one of my favorite characters in this story. Ali looks like he listens to J. Cole but walks around shirtless, and he's strong. He seems to have awakened this zen-like state where he doesn't let anything not worth worrying about bother him because he didn't beat his meat for 3 years. No fab Saitama basically. Ali pushes Tundra to be better, live healthier, like the body improvement club from Mob Psycho. This is a story about no matter how little you value yourself, with the right people, proper love and support, you can overcome it. But this isn't some feel-good Shonen Jump story though, because when Tundra finally gets a win in life through some mysterious scarf, he just doesn't move on like Naruto did when the whole village treated him like shit. Tundra wants payback. He wants them to know what it feels like to be on the receiving end of that pain. If Dog was similar to One Punch Man, Scarfman would be Mob Psycho, but Mob's ugly, differently abled, and isn't overpowered.
Research!
I had to do a lot of that for this video. 1 month later and I had to read precisely 53 different manga and comics. Not counting the doujins, but let's be honest, I had a little more fun reading those than everything else on this list. Everyone and their left nipple have been making manga recommendation videos, and some of them really took off, so I thought, why not do one too and get a piece of that soft, supple, juicy YouTube engagement for this video. Well, not really. I just really like it when one of the guys on screen looks like me. The name's Research Papa says I make videos about manhwa, manga, anime with okay editing and funny jokes, and occasionally someone will call me a slur in the comments. So subscribe and leave a like. YouTube likes that, don't you, YouTube? That's a good boy. Who's a good friendship simulator? Yes, you are. If you know any good black comics or manga, or you want to see a part 2 to this video, leave a comment below. Hope you enjoy the manga. See ya!